Hello, everyone. So to start this off, we're just going to go through what we consider fundamentals of PPC. It's a little bit nuanced. We're not going to go through super basic stuff, but I think all the stuff we're going to share is what we just find to be the most helpful, especially when starting out. So the first thing I want to go through is really just match types. And you may have heard this before, like what kind of match types to use. There are a few different ones, and they do differ quite a bit. At Duo, for most of our, again, home service companies, we actually typically just use exact match kind of across the board.
So Grant, just to dive in here for a second, not to cut you off. When Grant mentions match types, just so everybody's clear, we're talking about keywords on Google search. When you're putting together an ad campaign, obviously you're going to be choosing keywords that you are bidding on, right? So if you are a B2B SaaS company that sells productivity software and you want to have a best productivity app for industry, that could be a keyword. And there are a couple different ways to actually structure that keyword within the Google Ads platform. And those three are exact match, phrase match, and broad match. So Grant's going to talk a little bit about why we choose what we choose and things to potentially avoid with these three things.
It's pretty much very similar to what we're doing in SEO as well, because the core, right, in the post PPC and in SEO is the keyword research, starting off with that. And like all of these types are pretty much very similar to what we're doing as well.
Yeah, it's not too far off. And I mean, with phrase and broad match, as been mentioned before, we don't use too much of it. And so this does kind of depend on whether you're a SaaS company or whether you're a local service company, but really matters on whether you have intent for those searches. So exact match is going to be very specific, right? If you want to really bet on, let's say you're a moving company near me, you'd want to have exact match on because that's exactly what those keywords will be. And you know that they're getting search volume. With phrase match and broad match, those are going to be much wider nets that you're casting for keyword and keyword volume. This is interesting. This is kind of old school, but you would really in a lot of ways. Get a ton of keywords in there that might be all over the place, and you'll start to understand what people are searching and how they're searching, and then add in a ton of negative keywords, which is a keyword you would add to say, don't bid on this every single week. And then you'd eventually get to what looks like an exact match campaign over time. If you have confirmed search intent and you have a really easy keyword, again, like a moving company near me or CRM software for SEO agencies, something like that, right? You're very clear, you have product market fit, you know what people are searching, exact match makes the most sense. And there's no point in spending money on keywords that you know aren't going to convert. If you have a software or a service that is more broad and you really don't know what people are searching, it can make more sense to go with phrase and broad match to get a better understanding of what people are looking for and moving forward with. So most of the time we stick to exact match. Again, we have some companies that are, again, newer and trying to figure things out and just want to test some stuff out. We'll go phrase and broad. And then I'll go through a couple other campaigns as well to kind of bring these things back in. But we'll go over that in a second.
Yeah, and I just think like one important point here, right, is with exact match, you have the best grip on the traffic quality. Like you are going to be bringing in clicks that you can feel confident are going to be related for your service. The more you get into phrase match and broad match, the more you're kind of putting it in Google's hands, and you're more likely to potentially bring in some clicks that may not be quite as qualified as an exact match. And so you typically see cheaper cost per clicks with phrase match and broad match, but your quality of traffic may go down slightly. And so it's a bit of a balancing act between how can I, generate traffic at a cost-effective rate while still maintaining quality when it comes to the clicks that we are generating.